Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Rodriguez here, and I want to share a story and a little lesson with you all. So we're using the Freddie series, and Freddie's back, and he's one frustrated fly. He keeps missing social cues, so he misunderstands what people mean, and then he finds himself in a big, huge mess. So, sometimes I'm sure we've all been there where somebody said something, but that's not what they meant, or they meant the opposite. But how are we to know? We had no idea when it comes to the social cues that other person's using. So that's what we're going to talk about. And this book is called Freddie the Fly, Connecting the Dots, a story about learning to read social cues by Kimberly DeLude. Hey there, Freddie here. Do you guys always get in trouble too? I do. Sometimes I know why. Like when I took my dad's autographed Bug Ruth bat to school without asking, or every time I stay up late playing video games without permission. But other times I have no idea why. Like yesterday, Mom said, "Eat whatever you want." So I did. And then she ordered me to my room. That was really confusing. And on the bus this morning, the driver said, "Why don't you sing a little louder?" So I did. And then he sent me to Principal Rochford's office. At noon, the lunch lady told me to go in the kitchen and make my own slug sundae. So I did. And then I got sent to the principal's office again. Oh man. I don't get it. Why am I in trouble? I did what the lunch lady and the bus driver said. Well, Freddie, they might have said those things, but that's not what they actually meant, explained Principal Rochford. Huh? Then why say it? Sometimes our words say one thing, but our bodies say another. You have to read between the lines and connect the communication dots. But we don't have dots when we talk, I grumbled. Can't people just say what they mean? They do, but they also use their bodies. Principal Rochford tore off a piece of paper and scribbled something. Here are some tips to understand how to read between the lines and connect the communication dots. Number 1, how words are said, meaning what the voice sounds like. Number 2, how a face looks, what the eyes, mouth, and lips do. Number 3, how a body acts, what the head, chest, arms, hands, legs, and feet do. I still don't get it. Think back to how your mom looked when she told you to eat whatever you wanted. How did her voice sound? How did her face look? How did her body act? So I thought and thought, then remembered. Mom's voice was very, very squeaky. Mom's face was all scrunched up. Mom's body was whirling with her hands high in the air. Does she look that way when she is happy or frustrated? Principal Rochford asked. Frustrated, for sure. And how about the bus driver? Asked Principal Rochford. Did he sound happy when he told you to sing louder? I thought and thought, then remembered. The bus driver's voice was gruff. The bus driver's face was bright red. The bus driver's body was shooting steam. He was so angry. Principal Rochford nodded and asked, "How did Mrs. Beetle, the lunch lady, look?" Her voice was screechy. Her teeth were rattling, and her body was twitchy. "So all the dots point to being upset," said Principal Rochford, tapping the paper he had scribbled on, "even though they all said to do something. They didn't really want you to do it. It takes practice, but you'll get it," he told me. I made my way back to class with a lot to think about. In math class, I sat next to my friend Mosquito. That's funny. Like mosquito, but mosquito. It's cute. "I'm so happy we just got our tests back." Oh, let me say that again. Sorry. "I'm so happy we just got our tests back," she moaned. I was about to say something when I remembered the communication dots. Mosquito's voice was angry. Mosquito's body was stiff. Mosquito's face flashed a big eye roll. Boop, beep, boop. I connected the dots and realized she wasn't actually happy about the test. In gym class, I was picked team captain. My friend Buzz whispered to me, "Sure hope I don't get picked first." Before, I would have thought Buzz meant he was afraid to be picked first, but now I decided to check the communication dots first to make sure. Buzz's voice was hopeful. Buzz's face was all smiles. Buzz's body was calm and relaxed. Boop, beep, boop. The dots all pointed to Buzz wanting to be picked first. After a long day of connecting the dots, I was excited to be home playing People Swatter 2000 with my cousin Natlin. Like a gnat, Natlin. That's cute too. We were so completely into the game, I forgot that my sister, Lady B, was supposed to get the TV at 4 o'clock fly time. She popped in front of the TV to let us know it was her turn, but we were so close to leveling up that when she said, "Sure, go ahead, just keep playing," we did. In a flash, the TV went black. Natlin and I looked up, surprised to see Lady B hovering over us with the TV plug in her greedy little hands. We all started shouting. Soon enough, Dad flew in to see what the whole hubbub was about. Lady B blurted out that we were hogging the TV, so I butted in with the truth. "She said we could keep playing." That's when Dad asked me if I had even looked at my sister when she said to keep playing. Then a warning light started to flash in my head about something I needed to remember. No, she didn't, I admitted. Dad smiled and motioned at me to follow him. Some of our most important communication comes from our faces and our bodies, but not our words. Where had I heard that before? Oh, a picture of Principal Rochford's office flashed in my head. "I forgot about connecting the dots," I said before explaining the checklist Principal Rochford had given me. "We all forget sometimes," Dad said. "Do you remember Mom being annoyed with me in the kitchen yesterday?" That happens to me a lot at home. I get annoyed with some of my people at home in my kitchen. I thought for a minute. Mom had told Dad to take the trash out whenever, but the red splotches on her face and the strange tone in her voice were saying whenever really meant now. It'll take time. Look at me. I'm still learning myself," Dad said with a grin. That night, I climbed into bed and vowed to stay focused and connect the dots from now on. On the bus the next morning, I was chewing a gooey, moldy meat cookie when Bumble hollered, "That looks good." "It is," I said while taking another nibble. Then I glanced at Bumble. Bumble's voice was hopeful. Bumble's face looked hungry. He was licking his lips. Bumble's body was leaning in. He was practically on top of me. Boop, beep, boop. He wanted some. I broke my cookie in half so we could both enjoy it. Oh, he got it. At school, I unpacked my bag and headed to my desk. As I walked by Slinky, I heard, "Thanks for the help." It was weird because I hadn't helped anyone. So I did my communication dots check. Slinky's voice was low and sad. Slinky's face was wet with tears. Slinky's body was slouched over. Boop, beep, boop. Slinky needed help. Slinky had a big spill, so I went back and helped him gather his stuff. At the end of the day, Principal Rochford called me to his office. "So, Freddie, how did connecting the dots go?" He wanted to know. When I remembered to think about the voice, face, and body, I could read a situation spot on. But it's hard to remember to do all that, I said. Principal Rochford said I did a great job, and if I keep practicing, it will get easier. That made me smile. Now that I know how to connect the communication dots, I'm sure I'll never get in trouble again. Well, almost never. Okay, so let's just chat a second. So let's do a little activity. This one says to cover your face and say a phrase like "good job" or "how interesting," using different voice tones. We'll ask if the words you said in your voice tone communicated a similar message or if there could be conflicting messages. So let's try it together. Good job. Good job. Would you think that I truly mean a good job? You did an awesome job. Or was it something like, good job? You see the difference? Did the second time I said good job, did that sound sincere? Or did that sound like, maybe I'm a little jealous that they did a good job? Or, I don't really mean it, right? Or, okay, let's do this one. How interesting. Oh my gosh, how interesting. Or, how interesting. Whatever. You see how that can be conflicting messages? Like on one, you're really interested in something, and the other, it's like, yeah, whatever. Like, this is dumb. I'm not interested. So you can kind of see how the mixed messages so that you can get. Okay, and then here's an idea that y'all can try. You can list common expressions that we say and use different voice tones, like in a different voice, like a happy voice, a sad voice, a serious voice, and emphasize the different words each time so that you can hear how the tone can affect the meaning. Okay. Let's think. What can you think of, actually, before I say, what are some things that you can think of that you can say in different tones? So try that. Hopefully your teachers will allow y'all to try that a little bit. So listen, so think about your voice tone, your facial expressions, like whether you're surprised, confused, you're fearful, your body language, hunched over. If I'm hunched over and I'm like this and I'm like, yeah, I feel good. I feel really good. Does that indicate that I'm really feeling good? Or how am I really feeling with that? I'm all hunched over. I'm like looking sad. No, it looks like I'm probably feeling really down. In our tone of voice, if we're like super excited, we're probably going to be like super loud, versus if we're feeling, sad or gloomy or just kind of blue, we're probably not going to have a very loud voice or energetic voice. Also, here's another activity you can try. You can look at magazine ads or even on the TV, and mute the volume on the TV and watch the people on the screen and determine if they're happy, sad, scared, bored, or angry. And then, identify those social cues and explain how they provide clues to what someone might be thinking or feeling. So there are lots of fun things you can do regarding learning about social cues. And just remember, it's tough even for adults to read social cues. Sometimes we just don't get it, or sometimes we misinterpret it. So, this is a really important social skill to know, but it's also a very complex one. So, don't get upset with yourself if you have a difficult time understanding the social cues. We all make mistakes with this, but we all can practice and get better at it. And even like the messages that we want to communicate to others, we need to think before maybe we speak, before we say it, so that maybe we don't have those mixed messages of communication. So, all right, I will send another video your way here soon. So everybody have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you again. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.